Hi, I'm Krissy Amerson, and I was in the Character Company in 1979.
It's only 1 year?
1 year. Toured 1 year. We moved to California in 1978, and Steve and I had been married 1 year. I had never heard of First Baptist Van Nuys, never heard of the Living Christmas Tree, never heard of the Certain Sounds. Certainly had never heard of the Character Company. Yeah. And when we moved here, on our first Sunday, Steve was the singles pastor, and I met Gina Virtue, who was Gina Walcott, and she was part of the Character Company, and I think eventually I just became part of it because we were friends. But everybody else spoke about this character, not a Character Company, but Certain Sounds, but it had no context to me at all.
Yeah, really, man. And when you first saw them, did you think, what a weird thing?
No, because I'd been part of a Youth for Christ group in Michigan, and we toured. We did similar kinds of music in coffee houses, and we didn't do the choreography like, of course, Alex had done it, and we didn't quite have the bravado of the costumes. Well, it was different. But yeah, it wasn't foreign to me. And the idea of going on a mission trip, I didn't. Lona asked me if I was selected to go, and she asked Steve to be the tour pastor. And so that's how we were. I think that's the first year they took married couples that were not sponsors. But it was wonderful. Yeah. And we on tour we were in many schools, and the kids loved the puppets.
Now this was in the middle of the show. You guys would do stuff. Or
we often went separate from the Certain Sounds. Oh. There were certain events. I think there was one in London, and there was one in Liverpool where we did something together. But there were several times that, we went with our puppet stage when it got to England. Some of our equipment didn't make it at the beginning. The year we went, the DC-10 planes had been grounded. I think just like a month before we left for tour. So our group was split up on the travel. Some of them stayed an extra day in New York. A bunch of us landed in Ireland, and and we eventually met up like 3 days later. So it was very different.
Cool, but different, but cool. But I mean,
well, and Lona was great at nothing's really a problem. They're creative alternative, creative opportunities. Yes. She was a steady, just unflappable, very kind. If she was panicking, we never knew. It was a really challenging time. And then we had a hard time getting back as well.
Oh, man.
Those are the things I remember so well. And I remember because of the delays, we were like 3 days late. So in London, there'd be a sign that would say Certain Sounds or Character Company, and the date had been scratched off and a new date was up.
Is there anything that you think you brought from that era, that little moment in time, that has lasted this long up till now? I mean, you mentioned your friendships.
Oh, definitely friendships. Definitely. We came out and looked at the church, and we weren't even sure until we really prayed and felt very strongly that it was almost like Noah's story or Jonah's story, that we might miss something if we didn't obey what we felt the Lord was calling us to do, but we never dreamed we'd be here 37 years. So we really thought we would live here for a year or two.
Wow.
And I mean, I'd never had a taco. I called Sepulveda Street Sepulveda. It was pretty different.
Wow.
But people are the same anywhere.
Never can say goodbye. No, 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 no. Never can say